Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. My name is Daryl Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreative.com. This is my craft room. So welcome to my craft room. Come on in, come on in. How are you this Saturday morning? This is our second official Saturday morning. We have moved. We came from Thursday evening. And so now here we are with some crafty and coffee. Crafty and coffee on a Saturday morning. By the way, did you bring your coffee? I have to make sure mine isn't too far away. I've got my trusty Bubba cup. It is filled to the brim. Here it is Saturday, June 15th. And we are in my craft room. So welcome, my friends. Super, super happy to have you here. I hope that the start of your morning has been fantastic. So far for me, it has. So it's a beautiful morning. I live in the Midwest. I am in Lansing, Michigan. And there's a nice cool breeze this morning. The sun is shining. I can tell it's going to be a bit warm, maybe a little bit humid, but I love it. I can't wait to get out and play in the sunshine. So I am not going to have any personal crafting time until tomorrow, but that's okay. Tomorrow's Father's Day. I'll have dinner with my husband, and the rest of the time I am making. So welcome to my craft room. Say hi when you come in. Let me know if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Tell me where you're from. Chat with me in the comments. I love to chat with you while we're creating. And if for some reason I don't see your comment, I will go back after the live and respond to your comment. I'll say, hey, thanks for hanging out with me to you as well, or any questions that you have, we'll answer. All right, so let us go ahead. I have an announcement for you. If you were here last week, you heard it, but I want to give it to you again today. Let's just make sure I have a little room here. Let's go ahead and turn our camera down, and we'll chat a bit, and then we'll get started with today's project. I'll tell you a little bit about that as well too. Super simple, super cute, and super fun. Oh, here, let's hook up our other device. See if I can get a picture going for us so that I'm able to see you while we're creating. Let's see if I can wake it up a bit. I can't exactly tell where we are. Maybe I'll have to do a little cheating. So anyways, if you have plans on being creative this weekend, I love to know about that as well. Or if you were creative at all this week, that's super fun to know as well. Let's see, my other device isn't turning on, so we're just going to take a minute. I need to be able to see my hands while we're creating so that I know that we're in frame and that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Let's see if we can give it a little bit of a wake up. Okay. Well, it's being fussy. Let's find you. Let's use the computer. That works as well. Okay. Here is the product. Let's see where my hands are. It's a little bit of a delay. Okay. I think we're good. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As I was saying, I have an announcement, and you heard it last week, so let's talk about that first. And that is that until the end of this month, we have a sale on stamp and die bundles. So stamp and die bundles are normally 10% off. This month, you're going to get an additional 10% off of the stamp and die bundles. So we do have bundles that are also stamps with punches. Those are not on sale, but the stamp and die punches, or I'm sorry, the stamp and die bundles are. Today we're using a Stampin' Die bundle. So you'll get to see an example of what that's like also. So I just wanted to tell you that, and that's my only announcement. Let's talk about the product that we're going to be using today. We are going to be using, oh you guys, I have been waiting to use this. You know how if you are an avid crafter, you get special paper or special embellishments and you hold on to them forever for the perfect time. Well, this was my perfect time product. And I am thinking that there's no time like the present. Here we are. I am going to share with you one of my, I have many, but this is one of my perfect products that I was saving. And so I'm going to share it with you today. It is called Latte Love. So these are the Latte Love dies and stamp set. It's all about coffee. If you have created with me, you know that I am all about coffee. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to name our Saturday morning in our new space. I wanted to incorporate coffee with it. Coffee is a big part of my life. I used to drink coffee all day long. Now I drink it only in the morning, and I have a tall cup, but that's it. But if I could get away with it, I would totally drink it all day long. Okay. So this is the stamp set. It's called Latte Love. These are the coordinating dies. Let's take a look at them because you guys, you know, I am a fan of dies that coordinate with designer series paper, and so we have some of that going on today. But here are the dies, and then look, you have an extra you have coffee pots, a large brewer. There's some stuff going on there. Look at, we have a couple of small cups going on here, and then if you look closely, this circle die that looks like a top view with a nose, this actually coordinates with one of the cups in the designer series paper. And then also we have the regular cup. You can really see the shape of that. It also coordinates, so it makes card creating really easy with this set because you don't have to do any coloring if you don't want to. Of course, if you are the type of person that does coloring and you like to color, I like to use my Stampin' Blend markers, and then you can stamp first with either your black memento or black StazOn, and then you can color either of the cups in. This one has the milk art with it, so it actually stamps inside of the cup, and maybe there's a little touch-up coloring, I don't know. And then this little sliver goes inside of the upright cup. So that's what we're using today. And then one other thing, oh my gosh, let me first tell you that this is an online exclusive. So Stampin' Up! Has products that are in the catalog in a printed publication. And then we have products that are online exclusives only. So the entire suite of products here, there are some there's some ribbon that coordinates with it. There are some embellishments that coordinate with it. I couldn't put my hands on the embellishments this morning, but I'll show you in the catalog in a moment. And so the entire suite, I think, is called a Little Latte, but the bundle here is Latte Love. And then here, let's take a look. I'll tell you about those other dies in a minute. Let's take a look at the designer series paper. It's bursting with color. You guys know how I feel about color. It's fantastic. Here are the the embellishments that I pulled aside that may or may not coordinate with the paper. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see once we get creating our card. But here's the designer series paper. You can see that I have chopped into it already, and let me tell you why it looks so willy-nilly. Can you see here where I've cut I die cut the cup. So it's willy-nilly because before I die cut, I kind of took my scissors and went around the cups so that I didn't have to cut into another cup to maximize the number of dies that I'm able to get out of this one sheet of paper. But let's take a quick look at the designer series paper. So you see that I've cut into that one. I actually am not sure what we're going to be using today. Are you able to see me? I think there might be something going on with my camera. If you're able to see, will you give me a thumbs up? Just a quick thumbs up if you're able to see me. Something weird, I think, is happening. My device is blinking at me and I am not seeing anyone yet. So if you pop on and you can see me fine, give a thumbs up. All right, so let's take a look at the designer series paper. So we saw the top view of the cups with, look at all the different designs. Cute, right? And you can cut all of these. There's 2 sheets in there. Here's coffee beans. Here is the upright cups. They're different shapes. Hey, I didn't look in the dies. We may have shapes for that, for this funky shaped cup as well. I don't know. And we have coffee splatters. There is a marbly splatter. This is petal pink and I don't know, it looks like crumb cake. And then there's dark swirl. And then the reverse side are coordinating colors. So this is what we have going on. And the inspiration for today's card came from Patty Bennett. She's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. It's not exactly as Patty's, but I was inspired, so I wanted to give her a shout out. All right, so we are going to need, I think I like this pattern. I'm going to use a couple of different patterns. And I didn't decide beforehand, you guys, so I am creating right along with you. Let's be a little daring, shall we? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Did we look at the reverse side? That plaid is everything. Here are the reverse sides. I can't even remember. I was so discombobulated by the backup device not working. But so this is what we have going on the reverse side. If I was squirreled. My mind is everywhere this morning, you guys. It is here with you, though. It is here with you. It's just trying to go to other places. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to put the paper away now that I think we have chosen the 2 designs that we want. And like I said, we are creating completely together. So if you want to make this card with me, you have plenty of time if you're watching the replay to pick out some paper and products from your own stash. Okay. So I am really liking this plaid pattern. So I think we'll do both of them. And then here is what I chose for our card base. Like I said, we're starting completely from scratch today. I did make a couple of die cuts off of camera, but I was so indecisive that I thought I would wait and do this with you. So for the card base, I have either early espresso or I believe this is pecan pie. Let's peep on the back of our paper. It will tell us exactly. Yes, so early espresso and pecan pie. And I wasn't sure which I would like with which. I think the pecan pie is too close. So let's go ahead. We'll put this aside and we're going to cut a card base using the early espresso. So we're going to use a traditional card base, and there's not a lot of stamping with today's card. Not a lot at all. I think we're only stamping the sentiment. So everything that we're doing is die cut and folding. Super fun. All right, so when I am making a card base, one of the things that I like to do is score it ahead of time and then cut it once, and I'll get both of my cards. So I'm going to use a regular card base. I'm going to cut the cardstock in half, and then likewise I am going to score it in half. So let's go ahead, 4 1/4 on the long side. I'm going to score it and then swing it around and cut it at 5 1/2, and I have 2 card bases. We only need one for today, but that's my madness. So let's put the card base aside, and then we're going to need a 5 1/4 by 4 mat, and I'm going to do it with the larger upright coffee. Isn't this cute? It's got little cups on the back. Oh, there's spoons in there. Let's see if I can get it close. Can you see that? Coffee beans and spoons in there too. Fun, right? So this is 12 by 12. I'm gonna cut it at 4, and then I'll get 2 card mats out of that piece. And if I wanted to do the entire sheet, we would get 6, right? But we're gonna put this aside for later. And then I'm gonna go ahead, it's 4 inches, so I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. So this card layer will be in portrait mode. And we'll cut that right off. All right, so now we have our card base. We have our first mat. We're gonna do something with that mat. I'm gonna show you in a minute, but before we do, let's cut one other piece. So we have that extra piece of 12 by 12 that we brought in. Well, let's put that extra away as well. And it's not directional, so it doesn't matter. And we're gonna need a piece that is 2 by 4. Actually, I think we're gonna use 2 pieces that are 4 inches. So let's do the same thing as we did with the first sheet. And we are going to cut it at 4 inches. And then I'm gonna cut one piece at 2. And then I think the second piece I might want at 1 1/2. So let's go ahead and just be presumptuous, or maybe 1 1/4. Let's decide. We're deciding together. Let's do 1 1/4. No, I'll do 1 1/2, and then if we need to cut it down, we will. How about that? All right, and so we have extra here. I'm gonna set that aside. And then we need, I have some basic white, as you can see here. We need a mat for the inside because our card base is early espresso. It's very dark, and we'll want to cut a sentiment for the inside. So I am also going to cut this at 5 1/4 by 4. So there we are at 4. We'll swing it around and do 5 1/4. All right, so I'm gonna keep the trimmer here for that card mat, the first layer. Remember, I said we were going to do something with this. We are going to score this piece. Now, that having been said, we're gonna make a little bit of a fold. So we're making kind of a peekaboo card. I'm going to put this in the trimmer, and I'm gonna leave, I'm estimating, it really doesn't matter. You don't have to be super precise about it, but maybe about 1 inch. If you are familiar with our trimmer, this groove is the cutting and the scoring line. So that's what I'm looking at. So I'm kind of visualizing where I'm going to make a score line so we can fold that corner down for a peekaboo, right? So I'm leaving about 1 inch of it below that line, and maybe about 1.5 inches on the other side. It doesn't really matter. There's no right or wrong, and I'm just gonna give it a score. There we go. Perfect. And we're just going to pull this down, right? So that's going to make a bit of a peekaboo. All right, so now let's get started with some assembly and stamping. So let's bring in all of the elements so you can see what we're working with. Also, we might stamp an envelope today as well. So I did bring that envelope along. And then we have our card base, which is Early Espresso. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a 5 1/4 by 4 mat that's going to go on the front. We have a 2 by 4 that's also going to go on the front. And I think this will as well. We'll see. And then in addition to that, I have the 5 1/4 by 4 mat for the inside of our card. Remember earlier I said that I did some die cutting off camera, and I was going to show you the other dies that we used. They are the Spotlight in Nature. Look at, or Spotlight on Nature, I'm sorry. Look at how gorgeous these dies are. Are these yummy or no? Super, super cute. Let me show you really quickly what's inside. There are lots of circles. I love circles. There are, can you see the designs there? So there's tons to choose from there. You see that? There's Spotlight on Nature. It does have a coordinating stamp set. It is in a publication, so it's in our current annual catalog, and the stamp set has been wildly popular. It is currently out of stock. I have been stocking it. It, of course, is a stamp and die bundle, so it is going to be an additional 10% off this month as well. And I'm really sad because, yeah, it's sold out. So I went ahead and got the dies because I super duper love them. And like I said, they're gorgeous, gorgeous. So we're gonna use, I wasn't sure, we're not using all 3 of them. We're gonna use one, but I punched or cut them in coordinating colors because I'm not sure which color I want to use. I'm indecisive. I love them all. Indecisive. I need to be decisive. And then here are the cups that I cut from the designer series paper with the dies. So isn't this super cool? This is the top view cut. I have 3 again because whichever one I use maybe will coordinate with the dies. So we're going to set those aside for a moment too. And then we'll do a little bit of stamping. It's going to be on that die cut. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to, we need to fold and score our card base. That's important. We want that card to lay flat. So I'm going to take my bone folder and just give it a nice score. And so this card is going to open like a book. And this piece will go here. So we're going to take that piece of 2 by 4, remember that we cut, and we're going to glue it right down to the top edge of the card, and I'm going to leave an even margin around the 3 sides. Obviously the bottom margin won't be even because there's quite a bit left there. But let's go ahead and add some Steel Plus to the back. Give a little adhesive here, and then again I'm going to just kind of eyeball an even margin around all 3 sides. I'm going to do the best I can. I like to stand over my project when I'm working on it, but I can't do that on camera. I'm probably a foot away from it. So, and then that extra fold that we made on our matted layer, I'm just going to give that a nice fold as well. And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on it because we're going to tack it right down. We don't want it to come back up. Okay, so we're going to tack that right down. And then we're gonna add this layer to our card front. And just so that you can see, let's make sure I'm in camera here. I am kind of making sure that I line the edges up so you can't see the part of the peekaboo, right? I don't wanna see it anywhere else except for where we have that fold. So that's my goal. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive. And then remember, maybe I'll kind of skew this to the side. That makes me a little nervous. All right, and I'm just gonna line it up, and I want it edge to edge there. And if I do that right, it should look like one piece. Let's use our bone folder. All right, isn't that cute little peekaboo? So, the next thing we're going to do, I think I'm going to add this so that it kind of coordinates here. And remember, I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to have this a little more slim. But what we're going to do, it may not matter, is we're going to add one of our die cut coffee cups and our sentiment die. And as much as I like the petal pink, I don't think it's enough of a contrast. So let's rule that one out. And we're gonna go with Lemon Lolly. This is Lemon Lolly. Well, let's see, it's either gonna be Lemon Lolly or white. Okay, Lemon Lolly. I think the white is a little stark. All right. And then in terms of ink, I grabbed Early Espresso and then the Pecan Pie for the sentiment. And we're gonna stamp the sentiment right onto the die cut. There's not a lot of Early Espresso, but the base is Early Espresso. I don't know, my instinct tells me maybe the Early Espresso because it's very dark and we're stamping on color cardstock. Let's do it. We're gonna go with it. Let's go with it, you guys. We're gonna roll with it. So let's take a look at our options in regard to sentiments. We have, oh, I think I'm loving already the Hello There, Let's Catch Up. Thanks so much. This one's on me, and you're the best part of my day. Oh, I don't know. I like that. You're the best part of my day. But I think because the Hello There is larger, I think I'm really liking that. So let's pluck out that Hello There, and let's grab a block here without knocking my coffee over. Did you guys bring your coffee? This is a perfect day for coffee. We are making coffee cards and we're drinking coffee. So I think it's a perfect day. Perfect day for coffee. All right, so let's put this aside and decide where we want that sentiment. So we're gonna add one of our die cuts too. Probably, we don't have a lot of the blue in there. So I'll probably go with the lighter one. All right, let's open and ink up. And I think I'm gonna kind of put this to the right. I'm sorry, your right, my left, my other right. I have two rights. Oh yeah, perfect. I like it. And I think the Early Espresso was a good choice. I wasn't sure that it would be, whether it would be too dark or not, but I think it's good. I like it. All right, let's kind of do a dry run here. Yes, I like it. All right, we just have to decide whether we want 1 cup or 2 cups. I think we might go with 2 cups. We'll make one flat and one dimensional. If we can fit them on here. I think we can. I think we can. So let's do that. All right. Let's bring in some adhesive. And we're going to glue down our 1.5 by 4 inch mat. And I'm making it kind of maybe an inch from the bottom edge of the designer series paper. The edge of the designer series paper. Oh, I think that's on there. Okay, we'll roll with it. And then we're gonna add a little bit of adhesive to our circle die cut. I have those little dits all over the place. And then we're gonna put this kind of towards the left edge. And I'll show you facing you in one moment. Okay, here we go, that's where I like it. So this is what we have so far. All right, and then finally, let's decide. So one of these we're gonna put up with dimensionals. The other one will be flat. It will be the one on the bottom. I'm wondering if we should put this one towards the bottom. I want them kind of staggered a little bit. All right, well, let's go ahead with that. So I'm gonna slide this one out. And we'll just add a little bit of Seal Plus, and we will put this towards that bottom corner. And then let's find some dimensionals. If you know me, you know. And we can't put our heart upside down. So we'll have the handle of the cup just overlap the other cup a little bit. And 2 should be plenty. If you don't know what dimensionals are, they're foam adhesive hexagons, and so they add a little bit of dimension to your project. So I'm just going to pop the back off here. All right, we're shaping up pretty good. All right, let's put this, there we go. I got it a little close, but that's okay. Oh, cute, right? Oh, good morning, Nympha. You did. Good morning. I'm glad that you were able to catch me, though. I'm glad you're able to hang out. Good morning, good morning. All right. So we have that extra. We're not going to use that. We'll put that aside with the other die cuts that we made. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp our inside. And then we're going to stamp our envelope as well. I'm not sure if we'll put a sentiment on the inside. Oftentimes I like to leave the inside you know, without a stamp until I'm ready to use the card, and that gives me a little bit of a flexibility with the sentiment. But I think we are going to, I wanted to put that cup in there, but I don't know if it's going to be too big. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that cup going to be too big if I just use the outline of it? I don't know. I like it. I think we'll do it. Let's just do it. We're living on the edge today. Oh, I have some early espresso. Let's just wipe it off a little. All right. I think I'm gonna go for it. And I was gonna do it in the pecan pie, but I think too I'll stick with the early espresso. All right, let's scooch our card over for a moment, and our envelope. We don't wanna get any extra unintended ink. So I'm just going to ink up that coffee cup. Like I said earlier, if you wanted to, you could, you can stamp your own coffee cups. If you don't have the dies, you could even fussy cut them out, and you can use Stampin' Write markers or Stampin' Blend markers to color color your coffee in. But we're not going to color it in. I am going to bring the pecan pie though, because that, I'll show you in a second, but that little, let's grab a smaller block. That little stamp right here that colors the inside of the coffee, we are going to color that in. So let me grab that. And I am going to use pecan pie. I am imagining this cup of coffee to be close to the way I like my coffee to look when I drink it. And you guys, oh my gosh, let me tell you, my cup of coffee. So I used to go to Big B every single morning on my way to work, 5 times a week, $6-7 a day. One day I did the math and I thought, holy cow, I cannot, as much as I love coffee, I can't be spending that much on it. Let's see, I don't know if this has a direction or not. We're just gonna wing it. But anyway, so at that point I decided I had to cut down, right? Big B would be a treat for me instead of a staple. And so I started working with concoctions on my own at home and kind of coming up with my own blend of coffee. So I have it perfected for my taste now. And just like this cup of Joe, I make my own. And every now and then I'll visit Big B, right? But anyways, that's even a little darker. I put lots of stuff in my coffee. Cappuccino cream, regular cream, a splash of liquid cream, all kinds of stuff. Flavor. And I've perfected it to my taste. So when I stamped this, I was imagining what my coffee might look like. It's a little darker than mine, but it's okay. Let's go ahead. We have the matchy-matchy going on. I'm a fan of matchy-matchy, so the inside of our card matches what's going on the front of the card. We're just going to pop this right down. And then, so we have a matchy-matchy envelope. Let's do that too. Oh, this is cute. I think we need an embellishment on it. Good morning, Patty. How are you? Welcome to my craft room. Thanks for hanging out. It's bright and early. Do you have your coffee? I hope you have your coffee. Good morning. Okay. So here's what we have going. I do have some embellishments. These are the adhesive back speckle dots, and these are the iridescent foil gems. And let's see what's going on here. I saw that crumb cake looking color. Oh, they're kind of sparkly. Can you see it? Let's see, get them a little close. Can you see how they're kind of sparkly? These look like maybe Moody Mauve, Old Olive, Copper Clay, I think. And then, I don't know, maybe this is that beige, basic beige. I don't know. I think that basic beige, yeah, I think that will go. So let's add a few embellishments, and then we will stamp our envelope, and then we have a perfect cup of coffee. I don't know, I think I might, do I want to stick here? No, we better go a little higher. We better go a little higher. Let's make it 3. That's my normal business. I know I tell you guys that all the time when I use embellishments. My normal business is 3. And so, yeah, we'll stick with that, my normal business. All right, so let's stamp put those aside. So we have the front done. This is our front. Good. It's time for a sip. Maybe I need to do that. Oh my gosh, it's good. I think I can be a barista, at least in my own head. That's what I tell myself. All right. Let's bring in our envelope to finish our card. And so I'm gonna use, I would love to use those splatters, but I'm not so sure that would look cute. So we're gonna, can you see the coffee rings here? We're gonna nab that coffee ring out of there. I'm gonna put it on the little block. And then I think we are going to use the pecan pie for the back. And I need a scrap. Do I have a scrap piece of paper? I don't know what I did with my scrap bucket. So here, let's grab a scrap piece of white. And I'm just going to, let's put it here first. So this is the flap of our envelope. Let me cut this in half. I don't want to make my mat dirty either. And we're gonna stamp all over that little flap. Well, maybe it's not long enough. We'll slide it over. There we go. I just don't want to make a mess. I do want to make a mess on the back of our envelope, but I don't want to mess anything else up. All right. That wasn't very nice. There we go. Let's ink up some. And then I think I'll stamp in the full color and I'll stamp off. So some of them are a little more faint. And I'm kind of stamping also off the edge so that we have some randomness going there. And let's move it over. I can still see my thumbprint there, but that's okay. And ink up. And I'm just kind of willy-nilly adding splatters. There we go. I wonder how, I'm sorry, coffee rings. I wonder how that splatter would look there. I don't know. But there we have it. All right, we can throw those away. We don't need them. All right, so let's take a look at our finished card. What did you guys think about that peekaboo? Was that cute? So thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Here is the front of the card. Remember, we die cut from the designer series paper with the dies. Thank you. And then we folded that corner. So this is just that 2x4 piece. We folded it down so we have a little bit of a peekaboo. And then we have our whole cup of coffee in the inside. And then we have a coordinating envelope. Super cute, right? So let's talk about what we used. We used the Latte Love bundle, and it is a Stampin' Die bundle. This month, our Stampin' Die bundles are 10% off. So they're an additional 10% off. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention that both Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines, the mini and the regular size, are 10% off as well. So they're on sale until June 30th. The Stamp and Die bundles are an extra 10% off, so they're already 10% off. And you get an extra 10% off this month. So this would qualify for that. Again, this is an online exclusive, so you will not find it in the catalog, but you will find it online in my online store. The ribbon we didn't decide to use, but it is called the polka dot trim. and it was created to go with this suite of products. And then we also use the Spotlight on Nature dies. You guys, these are so very gorgeous. I'm gonna bring them out and just show you one more time before we go. They're all over the place because I've been using them. I absolutely love them. They're super, super cute. So we use those as well. And then finally, for an embellishment, we used Early Espresso. We used Pecan Pie in terms of ink. And then our embellishment was the adhesive back speckled dots. And we used that crumb cake color. All right, that's my share with you for today. So thank you so much for coming to hang out with me in my craft room. If you didn't get a chance to catch the entire video, feel free to watch the replay. It will remain here on our page. In fact, if you didn't get to see last week's, this was last week's fun card. The Mediterranean Blooms in Love. So you can go back on the page and look at that as well. All right, let's go ahead and turn up and say ciao. I don't like to say goodbye. I like to say see ya. There we go. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for being here this morning on our new day, Saturday morning. Thanks for hanging out with me in my craft room and allowing me into your space to create with you. I will be back here with you again next week with some more fun things. I have something super fun next week. Oh my gosh, I think you're gonna love it. A little bit involved. I don't know. We may need to start a little early. We'll see. Anyways, I will be back here to create with you next week. Same place, same time. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.